Coming to you right for you up here. You go.
Get your chair. Good evening and welcome to this episode of Solutions of Success. Tonight's focus is spring training, developing healthy habits. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. That's it. Great, and welcome back to Solutions of Success. We have a really exciting show tonight, spring training. Jack has got a special segment that he's doing with two willing volunteers, believe it or not, from Ringgold High School. Sorry about the stutter. Ringgold High School softball team joining us this evening. And also we have our special guest, Dr. Stephen Miller from Erlanger Volkswagen.
Hello, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for daring to come on the show with us. You're a brave man. Tonight's show, developing healthy habits. I sort of quizzed you and we sort of bounced some things around before the show, so I think he's ready for this. We're going to start out with what happens sometimes when young people fall, they get a concussion, right? A bump on the head. How do I know if it's a concussion or maybe that breaking the furniture was just time for it to happen?
Sure. Yeah, these are scary times. Constantly on CNN, we hear about a child that falls on an athletic field and unfortunately doesn't get up or unfortunately may even be found dead the next morning. Mm-hmm. As a parent myself, as many of you here know, it is important that we screen and watch for our children as far as head injuries go. It happens in any sport with the same regularity, be it softball, be it basketball, be it soccer, be it some of the new sports that we're starting to have in the area such as hockey. We need to focus on our children. We need to look for signs and symptoms such as them coming home telling something as innocuous as, hey, someone bumped me in the eye, and you see perhaps a bruise around the eye. We need to be clued into that because sometimes the coaches and the referees don't notice this, and that's where we have to pick up the slack. We have to look for changes in behavior, complaints of headaches, dizziness. You may even see them stumble around. Those are the more extreme signs, but these are things you need to be aware of as parents. You are proven statistically to be more sensitive to seeing neurological changes in your child than anyone else. So who better than a mom or a dad to notice when something is wrong with their son or daughter?
True. And keeping an eye on that child after the bump on the head is paramount. For how long? How long should I be watching?
That's a good question. In the games, you usually see them do it field side or over at the bleachers. A quick neurological exam. They'll hold in all the movies, they hold the fingers up before the eyes. It's more than that. You need to reevaluate these people, these children, on a regular basis. Every 6 minutes for the first half hour, then about every 15 to 20 minutes thereafter. Even when you get them at home, I recommend to parents to wake them up every couple hours. It is an inconvenience. I know that parents have to get up themselves, but this is the choice we make when we put our children into some of the high-intensity sports that they're experiencing and that they're involved with every day and every weekend.
Well, it's not just sports, Dr. Miller. I mean, my kids, clumsy, accident-prone, sort of like me, bumping their head on the coffee table, on the door.
Sure.
Bicycle, etc.
Bicycles, these jump parks that we see that are coming so vogue. We have skate parks. There are many different hobbies, and we take them for granted that injuries can happen somewhere just as innocuous as the golf course. One of my sons was struck in the head by a golf ball by his twin brother. I did the exact same thing. I woke him up every few hours. I checked on him. I ensured that everything was okay. It annoyed him. It bothered him. He was angry about it. But every few hours, I would wake him up and have him answer a few simple questions, such as, what would you like for breakfast? What did you have to eat last night? So we're talking about memory forward and looking back. What is your favorite color? And I just ask him about events a day. Then I let him go back to sleep. I'll come back in a couple hours later, hit him with some different questions.
I think it's a great thing. And yes, he was probably annoyed with you now, but when he becomes a father himself, he'll say, Dad taught me to do that. So it was a good thing. Now, Jack does personal training. And I know I've been in Jack's gym many times. Overuse in teens. Jack always, and he started me on low weights, and we sort of worked up. And of course, I'm well past teenage years. But overuse we see in joints and different fatigue areas. What about in teenagers?
This is an even bigger problem because we don't realize it, but we slide our children from one sport to the next. This month it's soccer. Next month it's right into baseball. The American Academy of Pediatrics came out with a ruling back in, I believe, around 2007. They recommend that if you have a child in some rather excessive, we'll just say collegiate or high school level athletics, 5 days maximum out of a week. At least give them 1 day off every week. And they even recommend 3 months off during the summer. I know that's not always possible with the summer leagues, but we need to be cognizant of when our child comes home and says, my ankle, it hurts a little bit. You need to be focused on that, and you need to stop what you're doing and look at that ankle because it may be swollen. They may have a stress fracture. These injuries that they develop as children are going to follow them into adulthood if you are not in tune to what's going on in their lives.
Is there a set amount? And Jack, you might want to weigh in on this as well. A 15-year-old should work out this much with this amount. A 30-year-old this much, this amount. Or it's random based upon the person?
Well, I don't think there's any certain amount. Of course, there's going to be a time when it becomes too much. And that's where, in my field as a trainer, to watch and observe their decline of exercise or the incline of exercise. So then again, it all depends on their sport. Then you got to also look into the nutrition, what they're doing, the sleeping habits, what they're doing. And just like the doctor was talking about, is you have to look for signs to see if they're overtraining or not. And you need to adjust from that point.
Okay. These signs, Jack just brought up a good point when he was talking about the signs to look for in overtraining before you overdo it. What injuries are you seeing with overtraining?
With our larger teens, especially they're involved in football, just constant knee injuries, and they don't necessarily bring it to their parents' attention. They will. These children, our children are a lot tougher than we give them credit for. They don't want to do chores, but they will endure significant amounts of pain and swelling in order to appease their coach, in order to try to get a college scholarship, and simply for the love of the game. And they don't ever want to let the team down. We have to be aware that. I've had children pull up a pants leg and seen large blue swollen knees that the parents were not even aware of how bad it was because the child was keeping it rather hidden underneath an ACE wrap or something like that. I see knees in the larger teens and our young ladies, a lot of the ankles. And these ankles, it's very common to have to tell people this is an ankle problem. You're going to have to wrap this ankle or wear a sleeve likely the rest of your life whenever you're doing any kind of sports, any kind of lateral movement.
So there's common injuries based upon gender.
It is.
Based upon the type of activity.
Sure.
And Jack, you mentioned another thing, sleep. What are we looking at? The amount of rest a person gets affects their cognitive ability as well as their physical ability, emotional stability as well. How much sleep should a teenager get, for instance?
It's no new news that we are a sleep-deprived nation. We do that probably from needs of what our jobs are, our third shift jobs, things like that. But we do it in a bad way too. We like to stay on our cell phones. Our cell phones go off at all times of the night. We like to watch our TV in our bedroom. Our children reflect this as well, even sometimes to a worse degree. They'll sit up and play video games all night. Children need at least 8 hours of sleep. It has been proven that their circadian rhythm is very different from us as adults. As an adult, I'm okay. I can survive on 5 to 6 hours sleep. It's not my preference, but I can get by on it. On a child, they can do it for a few days, but it will begin to show some serious problems. There's a reason why your teen is so difficult to wake up in the morning. They need that extra sleep. Their bodies and their minds need it. You have to keep in mind that even though they may look very mature for their age, their minds are still developing, and bear that in mind.
Okay, so by child, you're talking up until age 19, 20?
I'm talking 19 or 20. I'm talking your college age kids.
Definitely you need to sleep. I know if I don't get sleep, I'm not the nicest person to be around. How can we get that sleep? How can we shut everything down? You mentioned turn off those technological devices, especially at the dinner table. Turn those off and enjoy family meal. Communicate with one another. Don't you hate to go to a restaurant and you see a family or even a couple and both of them are doing this? They're not
I
communicating.
agree. Limits have to be set. It's a constant problem with me. I have to tell my children, put away the phone. We have to make eye contact at the table. I want to know about your day. I don't want to know about how quick you can type something out. We have to turn off our devices at night. We have to get away from it. You know, the sleep medicine doctors will tell you the bed is for sleeping. When you go to bed, you need to not be eating in there. You need to not be on a bright tablet because it will indeed affect your sleep cycle. If you're exposed to any kind of bright light before you go to bed, it's not uncommon for you to put off sleep an hour or two. We're a lot more simple in many ways than we think. And our sleep patterns are very easy to disrupt, but we know the major side effects of what it's like to wake up sleep deprived.
Teenagers and driving. Scary, scary thing, especially when we're talking sleep, technology devices, and driving, a new driver. Have you seen some accidents, some injuries? What would you say about that? A father of four, what would you say about it?
I do have some experience from working in the emergency room before I came back here to Chattanooga, and I can't tell you how many serious, tremendous auto accidents I saw that were directly related to texting and the use of the cell phone. The kids will tell you right out. They'll say, I was texting and then it happened. Every time I myself pull up to a red light, I look over. I'm scared to look over to the left or right because I will always see someone of a younger age looking at their phone, checking their phone, showing their phone to a friend. The other night as my son was driving, I said, look at that. And I want them to be an example because or take that as an example because I know they're probably going to be likely to do it.
True. So suggestion for phone and teens in cars. Turn it off?
Take the phones away from the children. No.
There would definitely be rebellion.
You know, there's a reason why all the highway patrol and everyone else are cracking down. I mean, have you noticed every one of these electronic signs are dedicated to now telling you to stop texting, driving? That is something I wish I knew the data, but I know it's huge. I know when I talk to my friends in the highway patrol and things like that, they tell me it is a serious. It's more serious than probably any problem out there. Is distracted drivers. It is, and if I'm sure your viewers have, all of them have experienced either a friend or themselves involved in a car accident because of these devices. We're just, the education for this isn't the school. It really begins at home. We have to teach our kids, and we have to lead by example. They can't see mom or dad sneaking a peek at their own phone, popping the phone open at every red light. Maybe we need to teach them that you need to pull over to catch the phone. I myself am very bad for that. I need to be better at pulling over to make my phone calls. It's better for whoever I'm calling. They get my full attention, and it's certainly safer for my family.
Certainly. Great advice. Great advice for that. Today's society, every woman's supposed to look like a stick. The ones who don't are airbrushed in magazines. Barbie fills little girls' rooms. Obviously, that figure is not obtainable. It's not healthy. Someone told me, said Barbie would have to have been 8 feet tall to have that type of figure. So what is the correct body weight, the body size? We find young ladies wanting breast enhancement for high school graduation presents. We find all these different things instead of working on our bodies to be the best we can be. How can we let our children feel secure in who they are and not feel that they need artificial enhancement or that they're inferior because they don't look like Barbie?
We need to understand that obviously not everyone's alike, and it's not an even playing field. The thing is that it's more than just the weight. And I tell you, I've never met a teenage male or female that is completely happy with their appearance. You'd be surprised how many males feel that they are overweight and have eating disorders. I believe it's almost 60-70% of what we see in the females. It is difficult. I actually sometimes have to pull out the tables and show them that this is the healthy weight for them. We need to understand that obesity comes from many times the parents. If you have two parents that are obese, there's about a 90% chance that your child is going to be obese. If you have one parent that's obese, you're still looking at about a 50-60% chance of obese. Same here. Fortunately, my children are still slender. Hopefully they don't eat like me. But we need to be aware of that. We have to change the way we eat. We have to stop buying the food that we're doing. When I was a young man, when I was a child, I remember we had 1 or 2 fast food stores. Now, as I look out on the Battlefield Parkway here, in the few years that I've been gone, it is wall-to-wall restaurants and places that sell food that, while they may be delicious and they may feed our kid who we have to get to the ball game right quick, is not the appropriate choice. It starts in the home. Parenting is not on autopilot. It's something that we have to take advantage of on all levels. It's not just having a sex talk with your children. It's fitness. It's healthy. It's getting out there. I can't tell my children to get away from the TV and exercise when I come home from work and flop down in front of the TV. What kind of example am I setting for them?
So modeling the appropriate eating habits, the appropriate exercise habits, and the appropriate sleep habits, for that matter.
Every parent that comes in concerned about how large their child is, I've done this before. I can walk out in the parking lot, take a little peek in the back of their car, and I will see bags of Wendy's, bags of McDonald's. I don't want to single out anyone, any fast food restaurant. When I ask them what they have in their fridge, the parents will always cite off the greatest medication. They're saying, oh, we have kale and all this other stuff. I look at the child and they will rat them out every time. Mom, we have 3 boxes of Little Debbie's or whatever. That's fine once or twice a week, but it's not something you can make a habit of. We can't just give our children a Pop-Tart in the morning and send them off to school. We're pushing our children to becoming younger diabetics. I have young children and as well as teenagers who I have to put on insulin. These are not juvenile diabetics. These are type 2 diabetics who have developed diabetes in their teens. It's unbelievable that this happens, but it's a sad fact is it happens.
That is a sad fact. The diet. I'm going to ask one more question about the diet, and then we're going to meet our celebrity softball players. How many calories should a 15-year-old girl have? How many should a 15-year-old boy have? Is there a set number of calories, and what type of calories should they have? So many from fruits, so many from grains, so many from meat, poultry, fish, etc.
All of this, and once again, that's one it's subject to each individual person because every one of us is built very differently. I have a lot of people ask me these questions, and I do say whole grains in the morning. It's important that they get breakfast. It truly sets the way the day is going to go. What I like to find out is what they're drinking as well. The sugary beverages. 1 Coke gives our children almost 3/4 of a meal's worth of calories, and these aren't good calories. These are bad calories. This is simple sugar. How many children do you know that drink 2 or 3 of these Cokes, or 2 or 3 of these Gatorades a day, or Powerades? It's all well and good to drink a Gatorade if you just ran 5 miles on a hot day in the battlefield, but is it something that you need day in, day out? No, there's more sodium than you possibly need, and there's certainly way more sugar than you need that you need to take in a day. I guess the issue is that we're feeding our children garbage, and we need to not be lazy about it and not pull out what's easy to pull out of a cardboard box and stick in a microwave. We have to go back to making the kinds of meals that we know our moms made and what we vaguely remember our grandparents making. We have to make these types of meals, and we have to feed our children better, or we're paying the price. We already are paying the price.
With poor health.
poor
And
health,
medical bills, cost of insurance,
diabetes
etc.
through the roof. I mean, it's interesting how even when you look at airlines will tell you we're having to pay more in gas because the people are so much bigger. We can't have them bring luggage on anymore because we've gotten so much bigger. Amusement parks are having to change the size of their rides. Instead of modifying the behavior of the people, we're going to try to modify the environment. Unfortunately, that's sort of the American way. I think America is great in all ways, but in this way that we're approaching obesity in this country, we are incorrect. And we need to step back and we need to look at why, when we look at videos and clips from the 70s, why is everyone slender? What have we done in this country? Well, we're finding easy ways to use refined sugar. We're using high fructose, things like that. We are paying for it. Early heart disease, strokes, diabetes. It's not going to be good. We're going to have to stop as a nation, step back, reevaluate, utilize gentlemen like this individual here, and we're going to have to take our children into the next half century with a better idea of what nutrition, exercise, and a balanced sleep, and everything. Our technology is advanced, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's given us a better lifestyle. Not at all. It's nice and easy, the convenience of a dishwasher, a clothes machine, everything else. But all these exercises that we avoid, we have to make up for in a different way. Our forefathers and ancestors worked very hard for their living. If we don't have to work hard for our food and our supper and things like that, meaning I don't have to go out and chop up my own chicken anymore, we have to find something else. And that's going to have to be at least an hour's worth of exercise every day, somehow divided up between your work day. And we're going to have to do it. When you drive these streets on a beautiful day like this, do I see everyone outside of their homes walking? No, I do not. It's going to have to change. Our mindset is going to have to change.
True. Okay, we're going to meet our softball stars now. And after we meet them, we'll go to commercial break. And then...
Let's do the commercial first.
Okay, Zach says roll the commercials. These are those good people who care about you and your family and support Solutions of Success. Stay tuned.
We're on the air 24/7. A North Georgia taste of heaven. A fun place to be. And we're your family. UCTV.
Dr. Carl F. Peterson Jr. has been practicing dentistry in the Rossville area for over 30 years. He and his professional staff will gently take care of all of your general, orthodontic, and cosmetic dentistry needs. Dr. Peterson is a participating provider with most insurance companies as well as HealthSpring and Medicaid and will gladly file your insurance. You will be greeted by his friendly staff who take pride in making sure your visit is a pleasant experience. Call and schedule your smile makeover, and don't forget to mention seeing this ad on Solutions of Success to receive a 20% discount on your visit.
At Accelerated Workflow Solutions, we provide software and training in the field of voice recognition to help make computers more accessible for both medical professionals and people with disabilities. Call us at 706-375-3007. We are the Dragon People. We are Accelerated Workflow Solutions.
Absolute Fit is an all-in-one fitness and weight management center. Our mission is to provide professional-friendly support in weight management and all levels of fitness training. We are located at 3012 Lafayette Road in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, just before you enter the Chickamauga battlefield. Remember our motto, don't cheat your body, and mention it and receive a $20 discount towards our J-Blast program.
I knew I needed to lose some weight. I was, and I had a lot of people that had taken the class that wanted me to try it out. So I finally gave in. Said, okay, I'll do that. The exercise program is simple. It's 18 minutes a day right now, which will go up to 28 minutes a day. And I like the knowledge to know that I have to come in on Saturdays or whenever my class is, stand up in front of him and explain why I didn't do well or I did do well. So it's all about the accountability for me more than anything. Well, for me, I take my kids to school. Swing by here. I'm usually, my schedule's a little more flexible than some people's, but for me, it's not about I don't have time, it's about I make time. I would find the time, I'd find that 18 minutes somewhere, even if I have a really tight schedule, I'd find that time because it's that important to me. But it's only, like I said, 5 minutes, and then our little exercise routine that we do, they're 1 minute apiece, and you just keep moving for a minute. You get 30 seconds between each one, and then another 5 minutes, and to me that's not a lot, but you can actually accomplish a lot in 18 minutes that you didn't know you could accomplish. Well, he holds you accountable, but then you feel like you've let your class down if you have to come in and explain, oh, I gained a pound because I went out and had this party and I ate what I knew I wasn't supposed to eat. And I don't ever want to have to get up in front of them or him and tell them why I gained weight. We go through a presentation to start with. This just helps kind of restructure the way you think about things. And then all of the members in the class are very supportive. We support each other. If you've had a bad week and then you've still lost weight at the end of it, everybody's excited. Because you do have rough weeks. You have weeks where you feel like, I don't think I did what I could do, but then when you come in and you get on the scale and you've still lost weight and everybody's clapping and they're excited for you, it really makes you feel a lot better about what you felt like you didn't do so well on. For me, it's the supportiveness. It's knowing that there are other people there that'll support me no matter what. If I have a bad week, they're still supportive. If I have a good week, they're supportive. It doesn't matter. And knowing that I can come in and cry on Jack's shoulder if that's what I need to do helps me out a whole lot. And I've had bad days. I've had bad weeks. We've had to discuss. He's had to talk me down off the ledge a couple of times, but I like this knowing that they care, because you don't find that everywhere. Sometimes you go somewhere, they just give you a pill and send you on your way. He actually is all about trying to change your life and the way you think about things, and I like that about Jack. I think I walk a little taller than I did a year ago, which is pretty big. You start to feel a lot better about yourself and the way you look, and for me that's big, because I've never felt that way. I've struggled in my entire life with stuff like that, so it's big. Since March 21st of last year, I'm down 40 pounds. Just that, I think most everybody you talk to would tell you that if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Thank you for staying tuned to Solutions of Success. We still have 2 special offers on the table for the month of April from 2 of our great sponsors. Republic Services is giving 2 months free recycling service in the city of Fort Oglethorpe, city of Rossville, and city of Chickamauga. Just call them at 423-867-9640 and take advantage of the Earth Day special the month of April. And remember, to get this deal, you have to tell them you saw it on Solutions of Success. Also, one of our great sponsors from day one, Dr. Carl Peterson. For a limited time only, Dr. Peterson is offering springtime bleaching, white teeth for spring. It includes a set of custom trays for in-home bleaching and 4 tubes of bleach for only $199. Normally, this is a $380 package, but tell them you saw it on Solutions of Success, and it's only $199.
Big savings.
What a deal. What a deal for a bright smile. And now, as promised, we're going to meet our 2 celebrity softball players who are here to show how to do great spring training exercises with trainer Jack and to tell us about some of their great successes. These girls are phenomenal. Welcome, please, Miss Kaylee Womack and Miss Dare Shiley. Hi, girls.
Hi.
Tell me something that is wonderful. Share it with this audience about softball and where you have played.
This past summer, we played in California and in Colorado in the same summer.
Same summer?
Yes, sorry. With softball, you get to travel a bunch of different places, a lot of experiences and opportunities, which is always fun.
What was cool about California?
Probably the busyness, how everybody's around.
Lots to do. It's fun, and plus we got to play softball, which was even better.
And there was a beach.
And a beach.
Yes.
The beach is always important, no doubt about that. In softball, one of you plays catcher, one shortstop. Tell me about the positions you play, and tell me about your greatest moment, your success in softball.
Well, I play shortstop and third, and what I like about short is there's a whole lot of room, and I'm always moving. There's always something going on, and probably my favorite memory was, I don't know, making probably my first double play as a freshman in high school.
I'm a catcher and a first baseman, and what I like about it is when in catching, you're a part of every play. The ball's always coming towards you. It's never boring. It's every play. And my greatest memory is, well, there's been a lot of them. It's fun. It's good memories.
Great. How do you stay? Softball is a pretty taxing sport.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay in shape for that? What are your practices? How much sleep do you get? What type of diet? What type of training regimen?
Well, as a teenager, you don't get exactly 8 hours every night, but you get close to it, and especially before a game, it's really important to get good sleep and always hydrate, always the day before, and eat the right stuff, which I don't always eat the right stuff, but usually before a game, I'm pretty good about what I eat.
Get some protein, get some energy.
I like it. Well, speaking of, Trainer Jack is about to join you on the set, and we're going to see what you got. J.R. Jones told me that you two were awesome, so I'm going to see if he told me the truth. All right, Trainer Jack, take it away.
Hey ladies, how are we doing?
Great, how are you?
We're going to be doing some sample exercises for this segment. And since you guys are in softball, and we want to tweak a few things. So I'm just going to give you a general idea of what I would do as your personal trainer when you come into my facility. First of all, I do a little background information on you, kind of finding out what positions that you play, how long you've been playing, kind of what your eating regimen is, your sleeping regimen is, like we were talking about. So we get a good assessment of your overall ability to play ball. Okay? A lot of things that I also look for is the God-given ability of your athletic ability, because that plays a huge role in how good you won't be later on in the future. But what we'll do right now is I always like to check the balance. Especially ankle strength is going to be real key when you're playing softball or baseball or any running sport, because you hear a lot of ankle injuries, people rolling their ankles. And what happens when you get an ankle injury when you're the vital player on your team?
You don't win games.
You don't win games. You have to sit out. Mom and dad gets upset. They don't get to see you playing. But a lot of times, kids or even coaches kind of overlook the importance of having real strong ankles. Have you guys encountered that, any at all?
Not yet.
No, sir.
Do you know of any exercises that you do to help really strengthen your ankles up?
I don't.
Okay. See, a lot of times, in my field, I get involved with one or two people at a time. Now, I do a lot of group exercises, but a lot of times when you're trying to really fine-tune things, people get lost in the shuffle. So when you get actually a personal trainer or someone who is dedicated to your ability, then we can really find things like that. So, for example, I'm going to use one of you right here. And what this is called a core disc, and this really works on the balance. And this will kind of let me know what kind of ankle strength you have. And so who wants to try this first?
You got it.
All right. So what you're going to do is you're just going to stand on this disc. You put your foot on the second ring on each side. And I'll hold on to your foot to kind of get started. Just get on it. And just kind of hang in balance. And what I'm looking for is seeing how unstable that you may be on that. And a lot of times when you first start out on this core disc, you're unstable a little bit because it is an unstable environment. It means it's going to move around all kind of different directions. So it's kind of like core training. And it's not balanced. So what you want to do is move around on that, get a little feel of it. Now here I want you to do a squat on it. Now what I'm looking for is when you get ready to do a squat is sometimes when you go down, if the ankles are weak, you'll start getting like little tremors. It'll shake really good. So let's try that. Just go down real nice and easy and do a nice little squat and come back up. Now see how you're leaning backwards? That's a good thing to find out if we're keeping our center of gravity. If you're pushing back on your heels, if you're leaning on your toes. So that tells us our core might be a little bit weak. So let's try that. We're just going to do a few of them. Let's do 5. Okay, just take it down nice and steady. And right back up. Good, that's one. That wasn't bad at all. 2, you see that, how that moved? All right, well that was good. That's good for that. Let's keep your buddy up here.
Yeah.
Let her try this out. All right, same way, you're going to stand right here on that second ring. I'll give you, yeah. Very good. All right, and just kind of move around a little bit, get a little feel of it. It's real shaky. And so what that's doing is making those ankles work really hard. It's making all the muscles in your feet work hard. And what I hear a lot is people tell me they get that burning feeling in their feet when they're having to do this, because those muscles there are having to work so hard. And it's going to work on your shins, your calves. All right, let's go ahead and try a couple of squats.
Okay, here we
Okay, and you see that? That's what I'm talking about. See how, did you feel that? Okay, that's what I'm talking about right there. Good job. You can have a seat on that. All right. Now, another thing we use this core disc for is to test the strength in your trunk area. So what we'll do is we'll just have a seat right here. So just have a seat and point your feet that direction. And this is really good because this is going to show you, and this trunk will move. You'll think you're on the dance floor dancing because the trunk will move all kind of different directions. And people don't realize when you're playing a sport how much you actually use your trunk area in your back and your abs. So we really want to make those areas extremely strong. It's kind of like I tell people like a house. You can have a great house and it looks wonderful, but if the foundation of that house is weak, it's worthless. You know, and that's what you have to do in sports. If you want to keep going up to that college level, you know, then get onto that professional level, you've got to have a great foundation and you've got to make that strong. Because that's what separates the people from the strong and the weak. And so what we're going to do is we're going to lay back just a little bit and try to raise your feet off the ground and just hold right there. Now you can see what it's doing to your midsection, right? You see all that wiggle and moving around? And once we get to the point to where we can develop that and you don't have so much wiggle there, is we can start incorporating exercise, you know, doing ball toss, doing bands, doing weights to make that even stronger. How did that feel?
Kind of shaky.
Yeah, kind of shaky. It's good. All right, let's try you. See what we do here. And then remember, these are just some basic testing. What we're doing is just, but it gives me a good idea of your foundation, where you're at. So go ahead and raise your feet up. Yep, and just hold right there. And you feel that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Have you done like anything like that before?
No, sir.
All right, just hold that just there for a minute. And you see that unstable environment makes those muscles in the trunk and the back, everything's having to work really hard. Okay, very good. So we'll skip that for now. What about push-ups? You guys like push-ups for the upper body strength?
Sometimes. Depends
Yeah.
on the day.
People always ask me, say, Trainer Jack, how do I get to increase my push-ups? Well, guess what? You have to do more push-ups. But a lot of people can do push-ups on the floor pretty easy. Again, that's a balanced exercise. But you want to get out of that balanced world and get into unstable environments. So, who wants to do a push-up first?
You can go ahead.
Should I demonstrate a push-up? Okay. So what I want to show you here is I just want you to do, and you can do it on your knees. You just on your knees right there, and just do one good push-up.
One push-up on my knees.
That's it. Just one nice push-up. Okay, good. Now, we're going to change that. Now we're going to go to the unstable environment. So what I want you to do here is put your hands right here. And do a push-up on that. Okay, did you feel a little bit difference? Okay. Well, I usually start them off on this. It's not as bad, but as we progress and get more advanced, then we go to, you see those big stability balls? We'll go to that point. And that is real difficult. Like I'll have guys that come in there and knock out 100 push-ups pretty easy, but when I put them on that big stability ball and they're moving around like this trying to do a push-up, and that's engaging almost every muscle in your entire body trying to hold on that thing, it's wonderful, but it will get you the core to the next level that we need to go to. All right, some of my favorite exercises here are for your hips. All right, you think you need good hip strength and inner thigh strength when you're playing ball?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's a good item for this. So come over here. I'll let both of you do this at the same time. So go ahead and put that around the top of your toes. And we use these bands for a lot of different things, but I'll show just a couple exercises here that's really easy and neat, and it's going to work that hip area. So what we want to do is we're going to take one step to the left. Yep. All right, and one step back to the right. All right, now just do that a couple times, but just stay together. And tell me where you feel that working at. Okay, it's working right there in that hip area, kind of where you need that, right? So when you're playing ball and stuff and you're pushing off side to side, you really need these muscles engaged. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to work the hip flexors. And all we're going to do is just pull up. Okay? Just do that a couple times. And where do you feel that at? Right in that hip area there. So you got to, again, it's some of those muscles that you really need to keep strength. You also need those muscles when you're hitting the ball, right? Good job. All right, take those off. Now, a lot of kids, especially when they're playing t-ball and start coming on up, sometimes the parents push them a little too much. And what they start doing is they'll start developing shoulder issues, rotator cuff issues. Is because they'll just go out there and just start trying to throw the ball as hard as they can right off the bat. So you really have to be careful with that. Now this is a very light band. We've got different colors, mean different strengths. So I didn't want to bring the heaviest one out here. I know I should have now, since who showed up. But what we're going to do here is we're going to put that in your hand right there. Just let go of the handles. And turn the hands over. And just wrap that like that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to work your back shoulder muscles. This is just one exercise. And spread out just a little bit. And what we're going to do is put your hands straight out. And just take it back and really squeeze your shoulder blades together. And come right back. Now this is a real good exercise to help develop the back of the shoulders. Trapezius muscle. Go ahead and just do that a couple times and see. Tell me where you feel that at.
Shoulder blades.
Because a lot of times we don't get to work those particular muscles. So we don't do exercises like that. We usually do pushing exercises, but we don't usually do that particular exercise there. All right? Now what we'll do is we'll do a couple of rotator cuff issues that you'll need to do routinely, a lot. And what we'll do is hold that. Now what you'll do is, I'm going to hold yours, well I can't for the TV, so they can see this. But what you do is you bend your arm 90 degrees like this, just like it's flat like a table. Keep your elbow right on your side. And what you're going to do is pull straight out like this, as far as you can go, and come right back. But remember, the goal is to keep that thing flat all the way. So when you don't go down like that, or you don't come up, just like you're wiping a table off. So try that again. Okay, and come right back. And this you can do it with a towel, with a friend, or you can have somebody just give you a little resistance, because it doesn't take a lot. You know, just like to tear your rotator cuff muscle, it doesn't take a lot to do that. It's a very small muscle. And, all right, you want to try one? Okay, let's let you try that. Take it out to the side. Okay, and come right back. And if you do these for a little while, you'll feel a little burning in the back of the shoulder. I mean, you're working that rotator cuff. And it, like I say, it doesn't take a lot of weight to do that, and build up slowly. Okay, another one we can do is we can bend over like this and just let your arm hang. You can have a little bit of weight in there and just do some little circles. And this is some things, a lot of people have rotator cuff issues, and recovering from rotator cuff is they'll have to sit there and do this all day. It doesn't look like much, but it's doing a lot of stuff for the shoulder. Okay, another one, and you can go ahead and hold this, and you can hold this one, and put this in your hand, and just let that be on the ground. And what I want you to do is step on it, and then take your arm straight out, and just bring it straight up, and come right back down. Just to put tension on that and pull it back up. And these are some good exercises to do still to work that shoulder group. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run a mile. We'll take a commercial break. No, I'm kidding. But some of my favorite exercises is developing the strength and the speed for hitting the ball. Okay. And these sometimes people just get out there and just think they're just going to hit the ball and they're going to do it good and it's going to get better. Well, that's not true. There are certain exercises that you need to do to help really amplify that. And you'll see a lot of people out there that will put weights on the bat and go out there and do that. That's proven to actually slow you down. So you're not actually getting as much out of that as you think. So what we use here, for example, using bands. So go ahead and get in your swinging stance. Okay, and what you're going to do is just act like you're hitting the ball and take it around slow first. Yep, just like that right there. And see, I'm giving you resistance on that. And when you're coming back, I'm going to actually pull to give you a little bit more resistance on that. That way you get it both ways. More so here, because now you've got everything engaged, so it's going to require a lot of muscle groups to work. So try that a little bit faster. Then see, then we pull you back. So a lot of that is going to help develop. Now you see all the different muscle groups is working when you're doing that. When you're getting ready to swing, it's a lot of these internal, external obliques that's working. So it's just not sit-ups that's going to help you do that. Also the hips, the quads, the calves, the feet, everything comes into play when you do that. So that's some of those things that we would look out for. But also hand-eye coordination. And that's something, you're gifted with, or you just got to practice and practice and practice a lot. And what I use on that, I've got one of these little balls that's got all these little bumps on them. So when I roll it to you, it's going in all kind of different directions, and that's what you got to do is you got to practice with that hand-eye coordination. Okay? So Paula, that's just a few examples of what we have that we go through at Absolute Fit for some of our sports-specific people. But it's all based on whatever they're playing, whether it be, baseball, softball, football. It could be bowling. It could be golf. I work with a lot of golfers now, so it just doesn't matter. We can pinpoint.
Wow, great job, Jack and girls. Thank you. It's very interesting seeing the type of exercises that Jack was doing with the girls. And it was very interesting that they were so specific to muscle requirements and to prevent injury. I especially liked the way that he was showing the girls how to prevent that all encountered rotator cuff injury that happens too much. Dr. Miller, can you add anything to sleep, exercise, and diet, the things that we've talked about this evening? We've got about 2-3 minutes.
Just real quick, I also want to touch base on what he was doing out there. We're too quick to send our patients off for surgery. We really need to explore what can be done with proper training. When we start in sports, we pick up a ball and we throw it as hard as we can. What a wonderful thing to say. We don't realize is that so many things that we do, we are doing wrong, and with a little bit of re-education and retraining, so many of these tendinitis, I can't tell you, at least twice a day, I get someone with golfer elbow, tennis elbow, whatever you want to call it these days, but epicondylitis of the elbow. So many things can be helped with different assistive devices as well as physical therapy. I can't expound enough how wonderful that can be. So much better than me just throwing a medication at it, such as a steroid or a pain-relieving agent, which, while helpful, may not be the long-term solution. The long-term solution is to step back and retrain and re-educate yourself, be it in sports or be it at a job where you do a repetitive type work. It's a great thing he's showing these kids, and I suspect they'll go home and emulate it and perhaps even show it to their friends.
I hope so. So to recap this evening, we have 3 areas of focus, and all of which require just turn off your technology, get a great night's sleep, get plenty of exercise, and watch your diet. Make sure you have an appropriate diet. Stay tuned, and when we come back, we have a fabulous talent joining us from Ridgeland High School. This is Solutions of Success.
We can recycle that! Rosie the Recycler!
Hello, kids. If every American just recycled 1/10 of every newspaper, then we could save 25,000 trees per year.
Wow!
Remember, we did not inherit this earth from our ancestors. we're borrowing it from our children. Be a part of Keep Fort Oglethorpe Beautiful. Call the number you see at the bottom of your screen now to become a part of Keeping Fort Oglethorpe Green. This is Council Lady Paula Stennett. God bless and keep America beautiful.
We've got the power.
Uh-oh, Dad's gonna be mad.
If you find yourself in need of an attorney, call the law offices of Robert L. Stoltz. From auto crashes to forming a corporation, attorney Robert L. Stoltz can help you through some of life's ups and downs. Call him at 858-0023 or visit his offices at 376 Cloud Springs Road, Fort Oglethorpe.
Bingo!
Make a date every Friday and Saturday evening to go to the American Legion Post 40 in Ringgold to
play bingo.
We love bingo!
It's fun for kids of all ages.
Bingo is for veterans.
Great food, lots of fun, and money to be won.
Bingo! Bingo!
Bring your family and friends to the American Legion Post 40 in Ringgold. The Walker County Sheriff's Office supports high school graduation. Be smart. Stay in school.
Welcome back to Solutions of Success. Again, don't forget those two special offers. Republic Services recycling free for 2 months. It can't hurt to recycle, save the planet. Call 423-867-9640 to begin your recycling service in Fort Oglethorpe, Rossville, and Chickamauga. And to recycle with a bright smile, call Dr. Carl Peterson. And make sure you take advantage of having that white smile with the bleaching opportunity he's offering for $199. That is such a savings over the $380 original price tag. Make sure you tell them you saw it on Solutions of Success. Now, joining us, a fabulous talent that my friend Kata McGregor from Ridgeland High School has sent to us, singing and playing guitar, is Mr. Cordell Kingsley.
Well, thank you, ma'am. That was quite nice of you. I'm the first one in line to die when the cavalry comes. Yeah, it feels like the great divide has already come. Yeah, I'm wasting my way through days, losing youth along the way. And oh, if God is on my side, oh, if God is on my side, oh, if God is on my side, then who can be against me? There was a greatness I felt for a while, and somehow it changed. Some kind of blindness I used to protect me from all of my stains. Yeah, I wish this was vertigo. It just feels like I'm falling slow. And oh, if God is on my side, oh, if God is on my side, oh, if God is on my side, then who can be against me? 'Cause 'Cause in this wasteland where I'm living, there is a crack in the door filled with light, and it's all that I need to get by. 'Cause in this wasteland where I'm living, there is a crack in the door filled with light, and it's all that I need to shine. All of these people I meet seems like they're fine. Yeah, in some ways I hope that they're not. Their hearts are like mine. Yeah, I wish this was further to go. It just feels like I'm falling slow. And oh, if God is on my side, oh, if God is on my side, oh, if God is on my side, then who can be against me? 'Cause in this wasteland where I'm living, there is a crack in the door filled with light, and it's all that I need to get by. Yeah, in this wasteland where I'm living, there is a crack in the door filled with light, and it's all that I need to shine.
Bravo. Excellent, excellent. Thank you again for joining us for this episode of Solutions of Success. Now you can see many of our past episodes on YouTube. Just search for Solutions of Success with Paula Stinnett. Dr. Miller, thank you for being with us this evening. Ringgold High School softball playing girls, thank you. Cordell, thank you for joining us. God bless America, and as always, it's a great day to be in North Georgia.